It's funny, isn't it? Like how the start of a new season can feel so fresh.
Yeah,
Like you got this clean slate.
absolutely.
We all have those moments, I think, where you're setting intentions, maybe even making those silent promises to yourself
Right.
about how this time things will be different.
This is the year. This is the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
But then, like clockwork, that daily grind rolls back in.
It always does.
Those old habits, they resurface.
They creep right back up.
And before you know it, things feel, well, a bit cluttered again.
Definitely. Cluttered.
Dust and dirt, not just in our homes, but also in our routines and our minds.
It's a pattern we see a lot, that initial burst of energy and motivation.
Oh, for sure.
It can be tough to maintain when we're up against the constant, demands and pressures of just everyday life.
It's like, I always think of it like that junk drawer.
Oh, totally.
Get it all perfectly organized, and then it just ends up right back to where it was. Which brings us to what we're really diving into with you today.
Okay.
A sort of spring cleaning
All right.
for how we live, how we think, the habits we've accumulated.
It's very timely.
And we're not just talking about tidying up your physical space.
Right.
We're going a bit deeper here,
I like it.
drawing from some of the insights in the materials that you shared,
Okay.
particularly those writings on Stoic philosophy.
Always relevant.
It's really, our aim is to help you, find some clarity and purpose as we quite literally spring forward
I love that. Spring forward.
into this new season.
Yeah, and the Stoics, they really offer a compelling framework
Yes.
for this challenge, this ongoing challenge that we all face, right? Of finding that inner peace, effectiveness amidst all the chaos.
There's always chaos. It never seems to end.
Never ends.
And what I think is so interesting about the Stoics is this emphasis on what lies within our control.
Right.
So our thoughts and actions
That's the key.
as this path towards, positive change.
It's really about focusing on what you can actually influence.
Yes. And one idea that really stood out to me from this whole Stoic approach is this idea of the inner citadel.
Oh, interesting.
So think of it like this core part of you that's untouchable.
Okay.
That fundamental goodness that the external world, the roller coaster of life, can't actually damage.
Like a safe space within yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I think of someone like Marcus Aurelius,
Of course, the emperor philosopher.
who navigated just immense personal and political challenges.
He really did.
Right. But yet, he seemed to maintain this incredible inner resilience.
That's what's so fascinating when you read his meditations, which you were kind enough to include in our materials for today, is that, this wasn't just something that he was born with.
Right.
It was, he had to cultivate that.
Yeah.
It was a constant process of self-awareness and really examining his thoughts and consciously choosing how he would respond to things.
Yeah. And that's what we're hoping to kind of explore today with you.
Okay.
Is this underlying desire I think we all have
Absolutely.
to feel more grounded, more resilient, no matter what's happening around us.
It's a universal longing, I think, to find that sense of stability.
Yeah, so let's unpack some of these ideas.
Let's do it.
And I think it all starts with something pretty fundamental.
Okay.
The quality of our thoughts.
The foundation of it all.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And Marcus Aurelius so wisely put it this way.
Let's hear it.
Our life is dyed by the color of our thoughts.
That's so powerful.
And when you really think about it, how easily negative thinking can just completely skew your whole experience of reality.
Your whole perception.
Yeah.
If your mind is just constantly fixated on what's going wrong, what you feel you lack, what you're afraid of,
yes,
that really becomes the lens through which you see everything else.
It's like, I always think of it like looking through
It's like a cloudy window, Everything just seems a bit
distorted.
Yeah, distorted, darker, more difficult than it might actually be.
Absolutely.
And you pointed this out in Aurelius's writings as well.
Yeah.
This idea of time being such a
precious.
Yeah, such a precious resource.
A limited resource.
Yes, limited. And he says, if you don't use that time to free yourself, it will be gone forever and it will never return.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. It makes you think about how easily we can spend our days,
just ruminating, caught up in negativity.
Worrying about
things we can't control.
That we can't control. Instead of using that time to actually
actively work on ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Our circumstances.
And the Stoics, they really had this clear understanding of how fleeting life is.
They did.
And it wasn't meant to be, depressing or morbid,
right?
But it was meant to be like this motivator, this fire underneath you to live with more intention and purpose.
Yeah, and I think that quote about lost time really highlights the cost of getting stuck in those
on those mental loops.
Yeah, it's like every moment that we spend there is a moment that we could be using to cultivate something.
To build something better.
So much better.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to fall into that trap though, right?
It is.
Of putting off self-improvement.
Procrastination.
That classic, I'll get to it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Always tomorrow.
But the Stoics, they really challenged that.
They did.
And there's this question that they pose.
I love their questions.
They're so good.
Yeah.
And they say, how many more winters am I going to let go by?
That one hits hard.
How many more springs am I going to waste?
It's a gut punch for sure.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's a confrontation with our tendency to put off the things that really matter.
To delay the things that would actually contribute to our growth and well-being.
Yeah, guess so.
It all comes back to their core belief that virtue and excellence aren't just these abstract goals for the future. It's something that you have to cultivate right now.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Every single day.
Is an opportunity to practice wisdom, fairness, courage, self-control.
It's a practice.
It is.
Okay, so let's shift gears slightly.
Okay. I'm ready.
There's this story that really
love a good story.
Illustrates this other key Stoic idea of this hell yes or hell no approach to things.
All right, lay it on me.
So tell us about the philosopher and Agrippinus.
This anecdote, it highlights the significance of having a clear moral compass and clear priorities in life.
Yes.
So we have this philosopher who is considering attending a party hosted by Nero, who was well known for his
Not a great guy.
No cruelty, corruption, all that.
Yeah.
And so this philosopher goes to the Stoic Agrippinus, seeking advice, like, should I go to this party?
Okay.
And Agrippinus's response is immediate and firm. A yes for the philosopher, but a simultaneous no for himself.
Okay, so wait, it sounds a bit contradictory, doesn't it?
It does, right?
Yeah.
But Agrippinus had a really insightful rationale.
Right.
For him, attending Nero's party was simply incompatible with his values.
Right.
So it wasn't even a question.
He wouldn't even consider it.
A hard no.
Hard no.
However, the philosopher was genuinely torn, right?
Yeah.
He was unsure. And Agrippinus saw this as an opportunity for self-examination.
Okay.
So that, yes, it was a way of saying, hey, look inward, really examine your motivations here.
Yeah.
Does this align with your principles?
So it's about really developing that understanding
of yourself.
Yeah, and your values.
Yeah.
So you're not constantly
on the fence
or needing
that external validation.
Yes, exactly.
For your choices.
And I think this is so helpful because that kind of clarity,
it's freeing.
It really is.
It really simplifies decision making.
It cuts down on that.
All that second guessing.
And it's second guessing that's so draining.
It is. So it's about knowing yourself, your ethical framework.
Yeah.
So that certain choices become almost automatic.
You just know.
And it's not about being rigid or inflexible.
Right.
It's about operating from that strong sense of integrity.
Yes.
That guides your actions.
Okay, now this next point from your material really, really struck me.
Right.
Reevaluating our obligations.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There's this quote attributed to Rit Sati.
Okay.
That made me really pause.
All right.
She says, you don't owe anyone a response.
Oh, I love that.
And I sat with that for a while.
It's powerful, isn't it?
It's so powerful, especially in our world today.
Our constantly connected world.
Where we're just inundated.
Inundated with communication.
Emails, texts, social media.
All of it.
And it can create this feeling of constant...
Just being obligated.
Obligated, like, I have to respond to this right now.
You have to be on all the time.
Yeah, and that can just distract us.
It's a huge distraction.
From what really matters.
And it can prevent us from actually dedicating our time and energy to the things that really matter.
To the things that really hold value.
Yeah.
I know I've been in that place so many times where it's like,
oh, we all have.
I've got to keep up with this. I've got to respond to that notification.
That pressure.
You feel that pressure.
Uh-huh.
But what you pointed out and what these sources really highlight is that can actually be so counterproductive.
Absolutely.
You end up prioritizing urgent over the important.
It's so easy to fall into that trap.
And we're so good at it, aren't we?
Where we are.
We're masters of that.
We've mastered the art of busyness.
Yes.
But it's not always productive busyness.
No, it's that feeling of constantly needing to respond
to external demand.
It derails us.
It derails us from our core priorities.
Yeah, and you brought up the
Eisenhower matrix.
Eisenhower matrix.
You know, that classic tool.
Which is so helpful.
It is. It's about
categorizing tasks.
Yeah, is this urgent? Is this important? And really,
it's amazing how much time we spend on things that are urgent but not important.
Right.
While neglecting the truly important things.
Yeah. Okay, this one seems a bit contradictory at first glance.
All right, I love a good paradox.
but it's this idea of the wisdom of haste.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Or as the Latin proverb goes, festina lente.
That's a good one.
Which means
make haste slowly.
Make haste slowly.
Yeah.
And apparently Emperor Augustus was
a big fan of this one. A big fan of this, yeah.
He understood the balance between efficiency and carefulness.
We often think of, speed equals productivity.
Right. Like faster is better.
Yeah, like got to get it done.
Gotta move.
But rushing can actually lead to
mistakes.
Having
to redo things.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it slows you down.
It really does.
It's that measure twice, cut once principle. Yeah. Taking that time to properly plan, prepare.
Saves you.
It saves you so much time and effort in the long run.
And there's that military saying, too.
Oh, yeah. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
I love that one.
It really highlights that when you're deliberate, when you're methodical, even if it feels a bit slower at the beginning, that lack of errors, the efficiency that comes from that precision
ultimately gets you there faster.
It gets you there faster.
It's about being deliberate.
Not frantic.
Yes.
And the Stoics really valued that. Discipline, that thoughtful consideration.
Festina lente?
Festina lente, it embodies it perfectly.
Love it.
Yeah, it's about acting with intention and focus.
Yeah.
Avoiding impulsivity. Yeah. And the pitfalls of just rushing through things.
Okay, let's talk about something that can really, really weigh us down.
Okay.
Mentally, emotionally.
Hey, what on me?
Holding on to grudges.
Ooh, yeah.
And Marcus Aurelius.
He had some thoughts on that one.
He had some very direct thoughts.
Yeah. What did he say?
He said, look at the people who held these grudges.
Yeah.
Where are they now?
Ooh.
They're dead and gone.
Powerful stuff.
It's a powerful reminder.
It is.
Of just how pointless it is.
To hold on to resentment. Yeah, because the things that upset us so intensely in the moment, they often fade in significance over time.
And clinging to those negative emotions
only hurts us.
It only harms ourselves.
Yeah. It's like
carrying around a weight.
A huge weight.
Yeah.
And the grudge itself doesn't really affect the person you're holding it against.
Right.
You're the one who continues to experience that negativity.
Yeah, you're carrying it with you.
You're carrying it, yeah.
And it just takes up space.
It takes up valuable space.
It really does.
Yeah.
And the Stoics, they encourage us to
recognize that.
Yes.
The temporary nature of what upsets us.
Yeah.
To really work towards
letting go of that resentment.
Yeah. For our own well-being.
Yes.
It's a gift you give yourself.
It really is.
Yeah.
This next point, it feels particularly relevant today.
All right. What is it?
Resisting external pressures.
Oh.
The Stoics, they were very aware of the dangers of being swept away.
By the currents.
By popular opinion.
Yeah, by the prevailing narrative.
Yeah, the narrative.
Yeah, whether it was the frenzy of the mob in ancient Rome.
Right, or the constant influx of news.
Social media.
They recognize how powerful that influence is. Yes, on our thoughts and emotions.
I love that image that Marcus Aurelius uses.
Oh, yeah.
Of being like the rocks that the waves crash over.
That's a good one.
It really emphasizes
inner strength.
That inner strength, yeah.
Not being swayed by
public opinion, by those fleeting trends.
By what everyone else is doing.
And Chrysippus, one of the early Stoics, he said...
What did he say?
That, if he had wanted to simply follow the crowd...
Yeah.
He wouldn't have become a philosopher.
I like that.
It's like their commitment to independent thought.
To not just blindly going along
yes, exactly.
with what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Thinking for yourself.
Thinking for yourself.
Yeah.
And they were all about slowing down.
Yeah.
Really examining those initial reactions.
Judgments.
Yeah.
Testing them against your own values and principles.
Because in a world that encourages,
Immediate reaction,
conformity.
I have an opinion on everything right now.
Yeah. The Stoics were saying, hey, slow down.
Slow down.
Think it through.
Yeah, maintain that.
Your own internal compass.
Your own compass.
Yeah. The aim was to remain
grounded,
rational.
Even when everyone else is losing it.
Even in the midst of chaos.
So important.
Yeah, so important.
Okay, finally, let's talk about the importance of being discerning.
Okay.
In our relationships.
That's huge.
And Marcus Aurelius had a very strong warning about false friendship.
What did he say?
He said, avoid false friendship at all costs.
Oh, wow.
Nothing is more painful. Nothing is worse.
That's a pretty harsh statement.
It is, but I don't think he was saying be cynical or mistrustful of everyone.
Right.
But it was more this recognition that true friendship.
Real friendship, genuine friendship.
Yes, based on virtue.
Is precious.
It's
rare.
It's rare, yeah.
And we have, of course, the classic example of...
Epictetus'
betrayal.
Who he considered a trusted general.
Yeah, a friend.
And it really just shows us that
even the people we're closest to are capable of
hurting us.
Of letting us down.
Yeah.
And the Stoics, they had a very realistic understanding of human nature.
Yeah.
People are imperfect.
We are.
And even with the best intentions, relationships
are hard,
are messy, they're complicated.
Yeah.
And Aurelius' experience highlights the importance of
awareness and having some degree of
realistic expectation. Yeah, in those relationships. And it's not about being paranoid. It's about understanding that people are fallible. That we make mistakes.
We do.
And that true friendship built on those shared values. Yeah. Genuine respect.
It's so invaluable.
It is. We got to be thoughtful about where we place our trust.
Yes. So as we move further into this new season, it really is an opportunity, isn't it?
It is, for some real growth.
New growth, some improvement.
Invigoration.
I love this.
It's a chance to not just watch the world renew itself, but to engage in our own
personal renewal
to really leap forward in a meaningful way.
And all these Stoic principles that we've explored today, they give us some really practical tools for cultivating that inner strength,
that resilience,
that clarity.
Yeah.
And by paying attention to our thoughts, aligning our actions with our values, being mindful of our obligations, carefully choosing our relationships, we can navigate all those inevitable challenges of life.
Because they keep coming, don't they?
They do. Yeah. They do.
With more strength and purpose.
With so much more strength and purpose.
Yeah.
And on that note, as you move through this new season, here's a final thought to consider. What is one specific dusty habit?
I like that dusty habit.
That you will actively work to clear away.
Yeah.
In the coming days and weeks.
To reveal more of that. Inner citadel.
Yeah.
I love that image.
And thinking about that Stoic emphasis on taking action now.
In this present moment.
What small, concrete step can you take today towards living
a more purposeful and clear life?
Yeah.
Instead of waiting for that elusive undefined tomorrow that never comes.
It never comes.
Yeah. What can you do right now?